Hello, beautiful beings. Oh my gosh, I've been holding Satsang for a couple hours now, and it's just so much fun. I just love it so much. This is my purpose. So, of course, I've always heard that. Do what follow your bliss, your passion, go with your passion, all that stuff. But I always saw it as, being an artist, like literally drawing or painting or dancing, something like that. I had no idea it was something that would just come out, just come out. Like I don't have to have a notebook, a pen and paper, nothing. When I go hold satsang with people, I only need presence, they're saying. That's where I access whatever is coming through to whoever that I'm speaking to. It's just so beautiful, the evolution of it. How much of the useless personal identity I have shed. They're saying enough so far to not smell like a person vibrationally to other people. Yeah, people can smell that stuff because before, when I was just learning all this, just starting out the shedding process, things were happening and I felt like, and I knew that I was getting downloads and I was able to hear my guides even better and better, but the person tried to get a hold of it because I wasn't used to feeling intelligent. And the ancients definitely make me feel intelligent with the information that comes through. And they're saying, yeah, and just the very fact that I am a clear open channel now for them to come through, and that, I can understand them so easily, whereas before I couldn't even hear them. I didn't know that I could. They always, when I try to give them all the credit, they're my perfect mirror, basically. They just mirror it right back to me. How much the co-creative experience has been so to where all the work that I've needed to do to be able to have this beautiful interaction with them. So it is just my highest joy to hold satsang with people, to feel people that are just like really stuck in their heads, and then to feel them coming down more and more into their body where I'm at when I'm in presence. I didn't twist my legs up. I had my knees crossed, but they still, they think it's, they're saying that it's very important for me to keep my feet flat on the floor, on the ground when I am, because I'm learning how to ground more and more than I ever have. I used to not be able to have my feet flat on the floor when I was standing and doing dishes, or standing, period. I always had to have one foot just on my toes. And I feel that it was because I was just already feeling so much. It was almost like when I started to meditate, it seemed to kick up the thought activity even more. And so it repelled me, just that very thing. And so, but that right there, that is the trickster. That's the one that's trying to knock us off our beam. But good news, we never actually can be off our beam. So it kind of felt like when I would put my feet flat on the ground or on the floor, that I was feeling too much energy. And so I would pull away from it and not do it. Just instinctively. I wouldn't even notice that I had one foot up or had my legs twisted. But what they've been really showing me recently is just how imperative it is for me to stay grounded in that way. Because these energies on planet Earth they're just basically off the charts these days, because humanity and Mother Earth is in crisis. And so the ascension process is accelerating, they're saying. And that makes perfect sense to me. And so the ones that are resisting it, digging their heels in, we're ascending anyway. It doesn't matter. Resist if you will. Resistance is futile, they're saying. It's just like when active labor, well, any part of the labor process, you can't stop that. You may be able to take a whole bunch of magnesium or something to slow the contractions down, like they did with me with my first daughter. My contractions started at 5.5 months. I don't know why. Maybe she just really wanted to come out, to see what's going on. Oh, my crown chakra just got so active just then. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but so that they compare all the ascension, all the processes to childbirth. And this ascension is happening whether people want it to or not. And just like labor. Yeah, when the baby's ready, that's it. So, that's what all of us healers are here really coming in to tuning in so intensely to presence because that is a vibrational beacon they're showing me to others that well, everybody's ascending, but to the ones that are ascending that actually do want help through it, that need a guide, that are willing to face the things that are coming up to heal. How do we heal stuff? How do I know where to start? How do I heal this stuff that people talk about I need to heal? It comes up. It'll come up, like with PMS. PMS is designed, at least it was in my life, and maybe this will ring true for you also. PMS was designed for me so I couldn't hold stuff in, because I would cram it down, but then when the PMS would hit, I had terrible, I don't even know how I kept functioning. I have no idea. Well, because I'm a mom. That's how I kept functioning. That's very true. The PMS would hit, and I found it very interesting. After a while, I noticed that the same things would come up every month that I couldn't cram down because the hormones were just raging wild, and I was just feeling insane. And I don't know how many years it took me to realize that that's what was going on, but it was after years of therapy and, adult children of alcoholics classes, codependency classes, Al-Anon. Man, my crown chakra is, wow, it's intense. Oh, it feels, it feels really magical to me because it feels like it's from divine sources. When, like, I can move my arms, but when something happens like that, I'm not doing that. They're saying you're not even moving your arms. I know. At every turn, they always want to remind us that you're not really this person. So, to the beautiful being that I got to encounter briefly earlier today at that awesome store that we were at, I want to read you the healing words for the lungs. What they represent, I know that part of it is the breathing in. They represent the breathing in and taking in of life, I believe, because my twin soul, or the one that I went through the twin flame lesson with, he had lung cancer, and it was from cramming down his emotions. Every emotion that would come up, he would cram it down with the cigarette. And so I'm sure cigarettes, absolutely, all the chemicals, there's like over 3,000 different chemicals in cigarettes. Not American spirits, but it's the tar and nicotine in those also. There's really, really bad. Cigarettes are horrible. Yeah, that's why they call them nails in the coffin, is because cigarettes, yeah, they're bad, but they are a deadly friend also. I smoked for 22 years, minus 3 pregnancies and breastfeeding. But all total, it was 22 years of smoking. It was the hardest addiction I've ever kicked. But I haven't smoked for 15 years now. Anyway, so yeah, some of these things, they can actually help us get, because it felt like I was relaxing then. If I was smoking a cigarette and I was super stressed out and super caught up in my mind, if I had a cigarette, I just asked them, why was that exactly? And they said, because it brought me closer to presence. That makes perfect sense now. Never, ever, 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 ever thought of that. Well, probably because I've never asked the ancients that. Why it seemed like cigarettes helped me. Yeah, that's it. And also with alcohol for a while. It released resistance enough to help me feel more like my natural state of being. For a while, but I was an alcoholic, so I never just stopped at the releasing resistance part. Yeah, I wanted to tune out. and have fun. I just wanted to have fun, just stop thinking. I equated not thinking with that's fun. That's having fun. If I'm not thinking, if I'm not being tortured by my mind, then I'm having fun. So, lungs. What a beautiful soul. What a beautiful soul you are. The ability to take in life. I take in life in perfect balance. Those are the healing words. When I was making a habit out of saying these healing words, I would cut a piece. To this day, I do this. I cut a piece of paper. I write the mental cause on the back. I date it, and then I flip it over because I'm not going to keep looking at the mental cause. That's not necessary. Even if I don't understand the mental cause, as I keep saying the healing words, I'm realizing, oh, yes, 10 out of 10 times, except for recently with bronchitis. I read bronchitis and it didn't resonate with me, but 10 out of 10 times until that one time recently. But if I read it again, it will resonate with me now. I just wasn't seeing it like I would now. So this probably resonates with you, what that means. Problems, lung problems. Let's see. I'm just going to read. Yeah, even though, okay, it just says, okay, lung problems. Oh, okay, I thought it was a list under there of lung problems, but it's not. It's lung and then problems, and then it says C pneumonia. But okay, this is what represents the mental cause that people may not be aware of, the repetitive habitual way of thinking and believing that we've been conditioned to do for lifetimes. But in this lifetime, the more habitual, the longer we've had the habit of that lower vibration, those lower vibration thoughts and behaviors, it will affect us physically. And we know you know this. We absolutely know you know this. We know that this is resonating with you, and that's very exciting. So problems represent depression, grief, fear of taking in life, not feeling worthy of living life fully. I thought it was so beautiful how when you were taking a deep breath, so was your partner. Yeah, that was really wonderful to witness. And so here are the healing words. I have the capacity to take in the fullness of life. I lovingly live life to the fullest. So we would highly recommend you saying these healing words for a minimum of 2 weeks. I write this on a piece of paper and put it up somewhere where I will see it off and on all day long. I have seen that this works so well that I will, if it's something very acute, I write it down and I leave it in my tiny home so I'll see it, but I also take it with me and I say it all day long. Because I want to feel better as fast as I possibly can. I want to dig that fear out by the taproot. People are like, oh, this isn't associated with fear. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all of it. Whatever the it is, if it is affecting us physically, emotionally, whatever, there's fear at the taproot. Yeah. So saying these healing words, it's just so beautiful to me because in all these years, the same thing happens. I get more and more realizations as I'm going into saying these words every day. More and more, they just naturally come because the difference in these words, the mental cause and the metaphysical healing words, it's vibrational. So as we're saying these healing words, it rings more true to who we really are, our natural vibration. And so it's helping bring us more into alignment with ourselves, our own true nature, which is presence. Looking out from our heart space out of these eyes. So I just can't wait to hear how it goes. And it was just so lovely getting to hold that brief satsang with you today, and just your openness. And I just feel more blessed every day, and that's just hard to imagine, but it's true. I just feel so much better. I've coughed like 4 times today, period. The ancients have been saying wheatgrass, wheatgrass. They said it for about 4 days, 3 or 4 days, and then at least 3 days. And I love how they always repeat themselves if it's something they really want to get through to me. And so I went and got some, and I've been taking it for, I think today is day 4. Nope, it is. It's morning 3, but day 4. It says that I should drink it in the morning on an empty stomach, and so I have been. I got the powdered stuff, and the only ingredient is wheatgrass, and just the description of how they grew it and what's in it, like the chlorophyll that makes the grass green, the color, and just I was sold. I took wheatgrass, like shots of wheatgrass, when I used to be a bodybuilder, when I was in my late 20s, and I had never had such pure energy before. I've always had this feeling about being too tired in my eyes for some reason. It definitely has something to do with having dry eye. I went and got some Sustain recently because I was giving myself contact dermatitis by using eye drops too much, the stuff that gets the red out. And so I stopped doing that immediately. Once I Googled it, the ancients said, you're hurting yourself, like you're keeping contact dermatitis. That's what they kept saying. And since I went to beauty school, I knew exactly what that was. And so I Googled, can you make your eyes worse by using eye drops to get the red out too much? And I knew it was going to say yes. It was just so surprising to me. But wow, it's just so beautiful how they just keep saying it. Because if I feel like I'm being eclipsed by my mind, if I'm going through a shed and I don't feel like I'm seeing clearly, that's a huge reason why they repeat themselves. Because if I'm not just, like right now, I can hear them just so easily. But if I'm in my head at all, it makes it a little bit more difficult. That's why they repeat themselves. And so I basically blame them. That's why I repeat myself. Abraham Hicks does, though, also. She always says, like I said. That's what they say a lot. Because they say it in a little bit different way. They're not consciously thinking that way. Oh, we should say it this way too. No, it just flows out that way. So many different people can hear it from where they're at, from their perspective. Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to go eat. And that's it. Ancients, is that it? I had such a fun time with Ocean yesterday, and her love gift came today, and I wish I could show you, but I can't because she's going to watch this. I'll take a picture of it. No. Okay, right. Okay. So when I'm done recording this video, I'm going to make a video and show you what I got her. And I won't upload it until I give her her gift, hopefully tomorrow. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. Full breath life. We love you so much. I'm not telling you should take wheatgrass. They're like, disclaimer, I'm not telling you should take wheatgrass. No, you may be allergic to it. I have no idea. I'm just sharing my personal experience. I love you so much.